Hey folks, what we have here is a new project with the washing machine. The problem I've been having with this Whirlpool Cabrio Platinum unit is that it would constantly get imbalanced, and then it would reflect the UL or unbalanced load on the digital display. That could be a function of the age of the unit. In addition, these units have at the four corners, once the lid is off, are rods and springs, kind of like a suspension system. That's possibly the culprit. Otherwise, there's also a stator, which is a round ring at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that, because if that's cracked, that could likely be the culprit. It's hard to look at the rings, the rods, and the springs to determine if they're faulty. At least I'm not able myself to determine that. So we're going to go ahead and cover how we take this thing apart and take a look at these items. First things first, of course, if you're going to work on an appliance, make sure you unplug it or turn off the breaker before you begin to do so. Also, if the appliance is connected to a water supply, you might want to make sure you turn off the water supply as well that feeds to the unit. Alright, here I've got the quarter turn valves closed. I've removed both hoses, left the ends in a bucket where they connect to the back of the washer machine. There's also the drain, which will need to be extracted from where it empties, and it can be pulled up. There'll usually be a twist tie or something to snip, and you'll need to reapply that. But this is in order to remove it away from the wall to lay it on spec. The thing that you might find particularly frustrating is a lot of these washer units, these top-load washer units, the instructions say to go ahead and use a putty knife and to look for a little clip about 6 inches in from either side, and then you want to go ahead and push in that putty knife to depress the clips to allow the lid to lift. Well, that's not the case here with this particular model. There are a couple of brackets in the back with a couple of nuts that just need to be released, and then the top will slide forward and then tilt up. Coming around to the back of the unit, what we have to release in order to open the lid is you got a little green bracket on either side. Lighting's not too good here, but it's a little green bracket. The same thing on the far side, and the upper little nut needs to be unscrewed here. All right. And the same thing on the other side. Alright, the two nuts, screws have been removed, and now we can go ahead and take the lid and a little bit of pressure, pull it forward towards you. You'll then find it will disengage and it will lift up. Now this unit is not particularly new. It's got a lot of rust here. It's here in a humid garage in Florida. But that's what you do here. Now you want to go ahead and, some folks will say to go ahead and tape the lid closed, and then you might want to use some kind of a strap or something to support the weight of the lid here. I've got this little piece of wire here I can use temporarily. Alright. Now looking inside, a little dark here, but there's actually at the corner here, starting at the corner, top, right, left, right, rear, or left, rear, right, front, is the top of these suspension type rods, or they're rods and springs that connect to the basin or the basket, and they stabilize it when it's going through its normal wash and spin cycles. Those are replaceable items, and I might want to take a look at that as well, but what I want to do is get to the bottom of this here and take a look at the stator. Right here with some light, you can go ahead and see these rods and springs. You might be surprised to see that the innards of a washing machine or a dryer is pretty much a hollow shell with just a sheet metal shell. Alright, with the unit resting carefully on its back, you can go ahead and access the underside. And here's where this this plastic ring is here, where a regular hex wrench can be used to release this and reveal the stator underneath, so we can check the condition of that. While we're down here, we can go ahead and take a look at the springs at the bottom side that support the wash basin, and then the rods connect those up to the top of the unit. and there's 2 on the other side and the bottom. All right, you use the appropriate size hex wrench to loosen the connection here. Ah. All right, and eventually it will come loose. You can see the edges of the stator here underneath this cover. All right. All right, here's the underside, and here's the stator itself. And I'm examining this, and I don't see any cracks. I don't see any reason to believe that this is needs to be replaced. All right, so giving it a close inspection here, what you want to look for is any cracks in the unit here. And if you have the cracks, you can remove those 4 bolts and then remove and replace this unit. It's available online. Looks like it's about 180 bucks. But I'm not seeing any reason to believe that this is damaged. So then we're going to go ahead and take a look at replacing the rods and the springs. Having checked the bottom of the unit and seeing the stator itself didn't have any cracks or seem to have any damage, and tightening that Allen screw back again, sometimes that alone could resolve the issue of the unbalanced load of the UL code. Now I've went ahead and I've uprighted this unit again. I've reconnected the hot and cold water supplies as well as the drain, and I'm taking a look here at the tub. And of course this is an older unit. It's in a garage with a lot of humidity, so it gets a lot of rust and wear and tear on the edges. But there's this lid here. And I've even heard that some of the UL code instances could actually result from a stray sock or a piece of underwear that has gotten up underneath the, or in between the bin and the actual outer shell. So this is, it clips on here. This one's gotten some damage here because it had come undone previously. But it clips around the edge. It can be lifted off, and then you can check in between it and the inner bin to see if there's any stray piece of laundry or something that could be affecting the balance. Having undone the clips around the edges of this collar here, you can actually lift it up and then actually peer down in between the basket and the outer shell here to see if there's any stray objects around the perimeter of the unit. And I've looked around here and it doesn't appear to be the case, so I'm going to go ahead and reconnect this here. Alright, the lid's been resecured, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and power the unit up. And I'm going to try to do a load of wash here. Before I go ahead and go to replace the rods and the springs, I figure, let me check the stator, let me make sure that bolt is secure, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a try here and press my lock here. And if this doesn't work, I still get the UL error during the course of the wash, the spin cycle, and the drain cycle. I'm going to go ahead and order the springs and install those. So here we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add the detergent and have it go. Current cycle is set for 56 minutes. I'll come in here and check in maybe about a half an hour, see how it's looking. Hopefully things will be working out well. We'll see. Alright, so unfortunately it's still vibrating and then stopping the spin cycle. I was able to perform one wash successfully. Here we've got some towels in here, and when it goes down to the spin, it just imbalances, starts shaking, and then it just stops, and then you'll have all the lights around the dial will be flashing. You can see the UL there in the display, and you know, we're going to go ahead and see what happens here in this sequence. What it seems like is it goes in these repeat cycles here where time gets added, then it kind of goes through a rinse and a drain, and it goes through a sequence of phases where it seems like it does a drain and then a rinse and then an attempted spin, and then it goes imbalanced or unbalanced load, and it just kind of goes through that again and again. And here we go again, it just starts shaking and then it just stops again. And it sounds like it's rinsing again and goes through this repeat cycle. God damn it. Here we go again. And again it tries, and again it fails. Starts rocking around, unbalanced load, and the dial starts flashing all over again. God damn it.